What's up, Say Squad? You already know who it is. It's your favorite girl in the whole wide world. I am the Saisha Monét, and welcome back to another episode of Multi-Million Dollar Vision Mondays. I'm turned up right now. This is episode number 6, and I got the one, the only, the Hampton, the CEO, the mastermind of it all, Miss Maia, my girl. We go way back. So we gonna sit here today and we gonna hear a little bit about her story. Y'all gonna laugh a lot, you might cry, but one thing for sure, y'all gonna gain a lot of wisdom from this woman. I'm thankful for y'all. Thank y'all so much for supporting me. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Make sure y'all put that notification bell on so y'all know when the kid posts on the channel, because I'm trying to keep the videos going. But like I said, y'all gotta keep supporting me so that I can keep it coming. So chill, get you some wine, some water, some popcorn, because we about to have us a good old talk. Let's go. So Miss Maia,
yes,
y'all know I usually have my phone on me going through my questions. I literally have no planned questions.
It's a setup, y'all.
It's a So Miss Maia, me personally, I know Miss Maia from way back. I'm talking about when I was like a junior usher. I'm not bluffing. I'm not exaggerating.
And we were still cute.
We were still cute. We still look like this. Really and truly. Honestly.
It's just better.
Better. Way better. Way better. So I always knew Miss Maia as this artist. I always knew she was going to be great with art. I just didn't know you would have your own studio. I didn't know. I didn't think that far. Because before the Hampton, matter of fact, first of all, she is the owner of the Hampton Canvas and Cocktails located on Choctaw Drive. I will put the location, her information, and all that. Y'all know I always do that. So y'all can come. The atmosphere is different. This is not your regular sip and paint. Don't come in here with all that hollering and all that. It's peaceful, but you're going to have a good time.
You can shout a little bit.
You can shout a little bit, get excited.
Get on,
but you know, don't fight.
Yeah.
Don't fight. But I knew you, but like I said, as when I was young, you were always Miss Maia who worked at Lowe's. I always knew you as Miss Maia at Lowe's, but who also does amazing art. Never knowing that this was something that you would do full time.
Yeah.
So I guess my first question for you is, where did this artist stem from? Is this something that you was just born with, or did you ever take any art classes?
Well, it was something I was really born with. It was, and my first piece I laugh at because it took me some years to realize it. My mom had bought me these little chalk pieces, and I learned that these are really just chalkboards, and I would take my time to paint it. And all I was doing was adding water. But when I saw it, you know, you put on chalkboard, the more you paint it, it gets darker. So I thought I was painting something. So I just picked up sketching, and I picked up building stuff because I used to love to build stuff. Couldn't use, and Mom was very, very just, you know, nervous wreck about stuff like hammers and whatnot. So I had to take Elmer's glue. And Crayola, if you were privileged, to color constantly. Even my first piece of art, I couldn't even spell my name right. But I just kept at it and kept at it, and God just kept blessing me and blessing me with different creative ideas and taking me out of my perspective of what others said should be. And when I saw Charles Schultz with Charlie Brown, that's what really impacted me. Okay,
so, oh yeah, you big on Charlie Brown.
I'm big.
Love Charlie Brown.
Yes.
That's one thing I could,
the great
obviously, we know that you love him. So, I think the next big question that I want to ask is, did you ever see, as a little girl, since that's when you really started, did you know that God was going to give you something like this?
Yes.
You always knew?
Yes. Because my biggest prayer, even as a child, was that I wanted to do something for Disney, actually. And I remember having this comfort that, you know what, I don't want to be Disney. I want to be better than Disney. And not to take away from who Disney is, but I never wanted to be famous. That was my scariest part. I didn't want the people to see me, but I wanted to see the talent that I had. Because it didn't matter how talented you are, to anybody out there who is talented, it doesn't matter how talented you are if you don't have a creative idea, if you're not humble about it, and if you're not consistent about it. So I always pray for creative ideas. Give me something different that nobody else has.
Right.
So that was one of the things that I always put in. Even in high school, I would draw pictures for like different classmates. You know how back then we had airbrushing. Now they couldn't get airbrush, so I learned how to paint like airbrushing.
Okay.
So if it was Toby and Diane, I would write a picture and put these hearts and all this cute little love scene. Okay. So that was my thing back then until it became this now.
Right.
So God told me as long as I gave him a name, that he would give me provision. And that's how this came about.
Wow, it's beautiful. So they always say every artist has some type of inspiration, whether it's a person, a thing. What is your inspiration? Matter of fact, instead of asking what's your inspiration, where do you go? And it doesn't have to be like a physical place. It can be somewhere mental, somewhere, you know. Where do you go when you get those creative blocks? When you're like, okay, I want to create something different. I want to give the people something different. I don't want to give them the ordinary, cliche paintings. Where do you go to get that creativity?
Saisha, the only thing I can tell you is that God just gives those ideas. At first, I had been in retail for 22 years. So while I would be at work, because it was all day, seems forever. And that's why I would get these ideas, and I'd be in the middle of helping customers and start sketching.
Wow. And
the word tells us to make it plain on tablets, so I would write it down. I would make these thumbnails, and that was something that I always did. Anytime I was challenged in the midst of something, back in 1994 when I was in physics class, I couldn't understand it. I don't think the teacher understood it. But that's why I got a lot of creative ideas. And these ideas will just come either sometimes at night when I'm sleeping, I wake up. And I believe now, as I've always have, is that, you know, if you have a creative idea or whatever it is that your passion is in, make sure you're so passionate about it that whatever idea you come up with, you can't wait to get up the next morning and run to it to put it and make it, you know, make it plain and make it become a reality. So, I mean, I could be anywhere. I could be somewhere in a store and see something. It could be something that somebody said, you know, or something that I saw. Looking through different ideas, it's like I got to get up, I got to do something about it. And that's in anything that I've always done, but especially with oil. Yeah, and I can't sleep until it's on wax.
And not only do you do amazing paintings and amazing signs, you also know, like, you're also a mastermind at interior design, like designing kitchens and different things like that. So where is that just something that just came with the whole package of your talent?
What happened a long time ago, we didn't have the internet back then. We had encyclopedias. And so that was my gateway at, you know, if I wasn't drawing, I was reading encyclopedias, weirdo, or dictionaries, weirdo, okay? So in doing that, I started studying handwriting. And I started studying handwriting. I was like, what would I be when I grew up? And I learned about interior design. And what I loved about interior decorating is that it didn't end with just a home. It could be a car, it could be a school. And I was like, boy, I can make an impact. Because I would base it based on what kids needed or what an adult needed or what somebody with different disabilities might need. And so that just piqued my curiosity because it had no limits. And as an artist, that's what I loved about it, that you have no limits of what you can do. And in so many different careers, people put a limit at a cap size in what you can and cannot do. So that's where the interior decorating side of it came.
And like she said, that stood out to me because, like you said, a lot of people feel like when you're good at one thing that you stick with that one thing, but it's so many different avenues. And that's what I relate to you a lot with that, because everybody knows I try to do everything. Everything. And that's how it is with you. It's like I always look at you as just knowing how to just paint. But then you came out with signs, and then you came out with this and that, and I was like, oh my God, Miss Maia.
But signs is how I started as a child.
You did say that. You told me.
I started that as a child, and just until recently, God gave me the idea to make it 3D. It's like nobody has it like this. So enhance it where it's 3D. So I was like, ooh, and I love a saw. I'm a skilled with the saw. Okay, I have so many tools.
We know.
I'm losing control.
Because a fun fact is, like, I know how churches, you know, y'all do like y'all nativity plays, y'all do your Easter. Miss Maia, like, she is like, Miss Maia goes as far as not going to the store and buying a cross. She builds the cross. Then she finds these sheets. She makes all the different clothes. Miss Maia then made us we did a drive-in movie night one night, and I walk in, Miss Maia has cars built, and I'm like, what is going on? It's like when she comes up with an idea, you thinking, okay, we're gonna do it like this, and then it's like 10 times greater than what you think. So while we're on youth ministry, Miss Maia is the youth director, and she does amazing, and it all happened overnight for me, because it's like one day Miss Maia, she was Miss Maia the usher, but she was always fun. She was always that usher that made you laugh. And then one day, which I'm not surprised she's over to you, because us, like, we was just attracted to you? Like all the kids just attract themselves to her, me included. Even, I mean, I'm not a kid no more, but still no. So it's no surprise. But at what point did you decide that, okay, I'm gonna step up and take over?
Well, it wasn't I'm gonna step up and take over. My kids always laugh at me. Or your dad always say this. And even when I graduated from ministry school, he was like, you're a captain. You're a captain. And it was like, you have a take charge type of attitude. And my dad would always tell me that too. He's like, I left you in charge. Do something, you know. But when it came to the youth ministry, even before coming to the ministry of love, is where we fellowship now, I was at Abundant Life Tabernacle. And the kids were always drawn to me, which is funny, you know. And it's always been that way. Whether I be at work or whatever it is, wherever I work, people will be just drawn. You know, so when it came to the kids, it's like I felt like everybody was leaving them behind. And God was just giving me these ideas of what we can do and what we can do. I've learned that anytime I did complain or I fuss about something with God, and He would say, well, if you don't like it, change it. You know, if you don't like it, change it. And this is how you're going to do it. So it's like, okay, let's make it happen. So that's how all those things came into play. And all these different ideas were just popping into my mind of what we could do. So really, I have to give all credit to Him, because without Him, and I tell people this all the time, I you know, it's not good. It's not. You know, it's not. You know, but by His grace, He allowed me to be a part of it, and I just love the things that kids, because there's no boundary with children. Okay, they are extremely exciting. They say the most amazing and fascinating things, even to this day. Just last week, when I give them all different names, nobody has the right name. Right. Because these kids act like they're grown. So Z is Florence and Georgia May. Yeah, so some of these kids, some of the stuff that they say when they talking like they 45 and they only 7, it's amazing. It really is. It truly is. And I want y'all to know that everything she's saying about God, this is really who she is. Because even now, like, it started when I was younger, but even now, it continues on now. It's never time. I could try and run from Miss Maia, like, oh no, I don't want to see me today. Miss Maia gonna find me. She gonna find me. And yo, like, she will always, is always a word she will have for me. You and Miss Brenda, y'all the two, like, they always have a word for me, and it's always, it's either confirmation or something that I need to know for what's to come. It's never been just an empty word. And to make y'all laugh, even as far as when I would bring, you know, boyfriends to church, the first thing she would ask them, she would walk up to them, not, hey, how you doing? She'll be like, what's your favorite scripture? And they none can answer, and she'll be like, say, leave them alone. And I'll be like, Miss Maia, like, you don't give them a chance. And then something happened, I'm like, oh. I'm not. I'm going to run you off. I just want to give y'all that. And also another thing I want to say, like, with you, with art, you're so, God has blessed you with such a strong anointing when it comes to just creativity. You are like a visual person, very much visual. Do you see yourself being in a director's seat at any time in your life, directing your own films and movies? It's so funny that you would ask. I spoke this probably a couple weeks ago. I told my sisters and my husband that I see myself in PBS doing children's stories and taking plain stories and making those a reality for kids that they can biblically understand and relate to. Learning how to find God in any situation. That's really what I would love to do. That would be amazing. One day. Yeah. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. See, and this is why I couldn't write no questions down, because these questions that wasn't even on my mind really, y'all. So that's how I know it's God. It's just like, it had to just, I knew it would be amazing. I knew it. But I asked this because of the fact, well, y'all don't, well, some of y'all know if y'all from the church and watch, but with our, like I said, like our nativity plays and our Easter plays and even Black History, it's never just, we don't just walk up there, read a script, do a dance, and that's it. Everything just flows like a movie type of thing. So it's just like, I'm sure I'm not the only person that wonders, like, is Miss Maia gonna ever get behind the director seat and make that happen? So if you say, I don't know about the director seat. I don't know about all that. But I would love to sit down with a book with some children and read so they can understand really who God is. Because sometimes, and I've listened to a lot of people who do work with kids, and they only want to work with a certain sect of kids. And that's not fair. Right. They feel some of them want to work with just the babies because I guess they can pick cat of what can be. And then at the same time, they're saying what they can't understand. That's not true either. When you give your child a tablet and they can work it better than you.
Right.
Because kids really not, they listen to what we say, but really they're the example of what we do. Mm-hmm. So if you show them who you are biblically, they're going to follow that path.
Right.
You know?
Right. That's me.
And then some wait till kids get to 15 and 13, it's like, I don't want to deal with that attitude. But you're dealing with yourself.
That's right.
Because God is only going to give you who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. I love it when they have bad tempers. I do. I love you. Welcome you. You have a bad temper. Please come. I had one too. Let's get out of it, okay?
Right.
But I love those kids because those are usually the ones, it's just that they're hurting somewhere. Mm-hmm. And they need that love and attention.
Right.
So.
Exactly,
yes.
exactly. So it comes with a lot of patience too. You have. You have a lot of
you
patience.
Gotta have it.
You do, really, really. So I want to give y'all her good news. WAFB has come across the mastermind. Tell us how you feel about it.
I am freaking out, okay? Totally tripping out, okay, because it was really a God idea that God had given me to draw these cartoon characters of the entire Mone't crew, who I truly love. I watch them every day. It's been for years. Shoot, for maybe 20 years now that I've watched them religiously, faithfully, every morning from 4:30 to 7 o'clock. He gave me the idea in 2019. It wasn't until 2020 that I drew it. And in the middle of getting ready, riding around in my car, overthinking what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. And that's another problem with being creative. You're an overthinker, okay?
Yes.
But the pandemic hit. Long story short, pandemic hit, couldn't send it out. And what was that? Pink for a Day with WFD. The Lord says, this is the time to release it. Because I was praying, Lord, if I miss my time, then whatever you give me, just breathe on it. And he did. He did more than breathe on it. He multiplied it because it was a promise that he said he would do for me, that he would advertise me for free. Okay? So WFB was so kind to even allow me to grace them with these pictures last week. Then this week, today, they invited me to their studio. I was allowed to meet everybody in there, and everybody is just as warm and inviting that you see them on TV. Oh my gosh. So it was, I'm still flipping out.
She is. Your knees can't keep still.
I can't. Okay, these little shoes, gonna like take out my name.
Oh my God! And then you have your name on your shoes. Yes, you got your name on your shirt. You can't miss it. So you can't ever wonder. I wonder where should know the owner of it all.
Yes.
Free advertising.
Branding is everything.
Branding is everything. You are your walking billboard.
Boom.
Also, another fun fact about Miss Maia. Miss Maia literally, this is not exaggeration, knows the Bible from front to back. She can break down any scripture.
By God's grace.
By the grace of God. That's a gift. That is a gift.
By God's grace.
So this is a hard question for me to even ask because I don't even know you can answer this one. But do you have just one favorite scripture that you stand on, that you, if all you had was one scripture you could stand on for the rest of your life and share with the world that you feel like they can stand on too? Which one is that?
Yes. I'm getting emotional. It's Isaiah 55. It's the entire chapter. It starts off with an invitation. And my husband teased me, he said, you're always talking about an invitation. But that's how God got us, is he invited us to dine and sup with him. But here he's saying you didn't need any money if you were thirsty. And all you had to do was be hungry. Like he knew I had a shortcoming. But he appointed me the same grace that he gave David. But to be a leader and a commander. To call people who knew nobody, that never knew him, but because of who you are. Not just because of who he is, because he's also in you. Then he goes on to guarantee us that his ways and his thoughts are higher than mine. So no matter how great you think you are, God is going to multiply your ideas and your thoughts. And he gives you not just enough for you, but also enough for your neighbor. And he said, even those things that look to be bad, the myrtle is going to come forward. So the briars, these things that might hurt you, he's going to take them and make them greater. He said, now even the elements, even the trees are going to clap their hands for you. So everywhere you go, everywhere your feet tread, there's a promise to be met there, because it becomes your tabernacle. Okay? And a tabernacle is a meeting place where God came down.
Yeah, right. Y'all getting free church
and dwelt amongst the people. Okay,
right.
but wherever you go, He's going to dwell with you, because He says, I go before you, and I'm behind you.
Mm-hmm. And I remember one time when you preached one Sunday. I think you came from them, because I remember you saying something about how God, He sends us an invitation, but it's up to us to accept it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I remember
and that was in addition to Matthew's, because he had invited people to come out, and they felt like they didn't get it from the master themselves, and they refused to come. So he took those who were by the side of the road. So it was the chosen people who was going to get it, but they can't get it in full because they didn't have the humility to accept who sent them the invitation.
Right.
Because they wanted it to come directly to their hands. Yes.
Miss Maia, everybody. I told y'all, it's so much. It's just like, oh my God, we gotta do a part 2 one day.
It's Saisha, y'all. It's Saisha. It's my safe.
I'm telling you, y'all, like it's amazing. When God told me to put her on the show, I wanted her. I would have her on every episode if I could, because every episode could be something greater. Like it's just, it was my honor to have.
Cut it out.
It was my honor and pleasure to have you on my show.
Oh wow!
Let the people know where they can keep up with you at.
Oh, you can go to Facebook. You can go to our Instagram. We're on Facebook as the Hampton Canvas Cocktails. We're on Instagram as the Hampton CC. Or you can also Google us, and we're right here. You can stop by at our showroom at 166 South Choctaw Drive, right here in the great city of Baton Rouge. We would love to have you here. We have date night, family night, if you and your kids want to come, siblings want to come. We have team building, Sunday social, ladies night, guys night, because you got to get that man cave together.
That's right.
Okay, guys? You're special too, okay? Or just in the groups, you just want to come in, and we do practice social distance. You can see I have my mask. Okay? We will take your temperature at the door. Okay, you have a 3-hour session. You're welcome to bring food and drink. Okay, and the drink actually makes the picture even better, along with me. Okay, yes. You'll be able to sell it. Okay?
That's right. That's right. You get to sell it. Again, thank you, Ms. Maia, so much. It's an honor. You've done me a favor.
No, Saisha. No, Saisha. Iron sharpens iron.
That's
Saisha.
right. That's right.
Saisha, y'all. Remember that name, Saisha Monét.
The one and only, the Maia.
Saisha, baby.
Miss Maia, Mrs. Maia,
Mrs. Saisha.
M-A-I-A. Please spell it right, because if y'all come DMing her M-I-A.
Help the people, Saisha. Help them. Help them, baby.
She will correct you. Please, y'all. It's M-A-I-A.
That's it.
That's it, y'all. That's it, Miss Maia, everybody. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to the Kid YouTube channel. I love y'all so much, and y'all already know what it is. Make sure you keep God first. Make sure you love yourself and get this bread, man. But before we go, don't go nowhere. Can we let the people tour so they can see what the inside looks like?
Come on in.
Don't go nowhere. Here we go.
This is your invitation.
The signs, the 3D. I'm gonna make sure we could talk too. I want them to hear your voice. Hey y'all, 3D.
Yes, this is our fall sign. This one is 15 inches wide by 5.5 feet tall. We also have Frankenstein, as you can see, that just like some of the pictures that I painted here. And of course the great pumpkin. Now Charlie Brown and Snoopy. Snoopy is my best friend. Him and Charlie Brown, we almost went to school together. Okay. Our date night collection, as you can see, we have the Mr. and the Misters right here. We have the his and her. We have the night on the beach. We have the kings and queens, the black king and queen, kissing coys. I am a country girl. I'm from Organza, so we have the Louisiana love. We have the fleur-de-lis. We have the deer here, the lovebirds. And this is our Greek night, so it can be any Greek, okay? For those who might be sensitive to AKA. All right, and this is our team building section here. As you can see, we have the famous Wonder Woman fleur-de-lis. So it's Marvel and DC meets fleur-de-lis. And we have the beauticians, barbers, teachers, lawyers, nurses, chefs. Okay, and if you want a little cheese to go with your wine. And these is our open section, so anybody usually can paint these as well. I love my little fox, my bumblebee. I totally love the flamingo. Okay. And boots, because everybody knows I love boots.
Yeah.
Okay.
And hats.
And hats, definitely. These are all of those that are selected to Louisiana. You can see. You can see the hot sauce. You can see the crawfish, which is my favorite. Crawfish season starts, y'all, like next week or something.
Yeah, it does.
Get ready, okay? Like this week, we have Alabama versus LSU, and we have Southern versus Grambling. And here's some more selection for our man cage there.
Yep. And more signs.
More signs, as you can see. And this one is one that is reversible.
Oh.
So you can be ready.
Oh, wow.
You can even personalize this and say Harvest Blessing with your family name on it. And guess what happens after that? It's the snowman. Boom.
Wow.
Yes.
We got the black Santa Claus.
This one is also, as you can see, it's pretty tall. It's 15 inches by 5.5 feet.
Yep.
And we have our little Santa. We have our Joyful. And we have our Noel. And over here, this is a lot of our holiday. I have some of them that I've taken down because we're getting ready to display them. We're switching out holidays. We have our Scarecrow. We have the Mardi Gras, Easter, Winter Fun. We have the turkey, who I love. He says to eat ham, everybody. Okay? He's so cool and fat.
Yeah. So if y'all want to see it from afar, the beauty of it all. And before we go, what the people don't know, you love sunglasses. Will we ever have a Hampton sunglass collection?
Oh Lord, look. We got everything else. We have shoes and everything. I wish I could.
Everything else.
Yes,
the shoes.
we do have the shoes. Okay, we do have the mask. Everyone asks me if this is Hampton, but it is not. I do have burgundy glasses as well.
The watch. I thought it was too. I'm not gonna
It's
lie.
not. Everybody thinks it is, but it's not. And I found me some burgundy Cortez, some Nike Cortez. Yes, I don't have them on today, but I had them on earlier. Yes.
Again, here we go.
Here.
Yes. Some more stuff, y'all.
And that's our family night. As you can see, you can paint a family tree.
Yep. And more signs over here. Again, Miss Maya, you were great. It was such a pleasure having you. Any last words for the people before we log off?
Yes, remember at the Hampton Canvas and Cocktails, you can visit us on our website as well to follow our calendar. Our November and December calendar will be coming up today, and that is the Hampton with a SCC.com.
And that's all, everybody. We out.